Hi everyone, welcome to Krista's Curated Life. I am Krista and I'm a part-time reseller on websites like Poshmark and Ebay. Welcome to a What's Sold Monday. Today we are going to be going over sales from August 31st to September 6th. How sad is it that we're in September already? To make life a little bit more exciting, I thought we could go through some sales. So for the 31st to the 6th, I had a revenue of $749.03, a total profit of $448.52, an average sold price of $34.05, and I sold 29 items. So let's get on into what sold. I had one sale on the 31st. To be honest, my sales were a little bit spotty. I had a few bundles. So my first sale and only sale on the 31st is this Bowden dress. It's an Easy Fix wrap jersey, green tapestry, bud floral. It was a 6 petite. It was new with tags. I had this listed on Poshmark for 83 days, which honestly I thought I had it on there for more. My cost of good for this was $6. I must have got it somewhere cheap. I don't remember where, but it's listed as $6. It sold for $33 on Poshmark, and I made $20.40. That was a good sale. We had a few sales on the first. The first one was a Third Love bra. Third Love, Honey Love, some of my favorite bra brands to sell. I do love Victoria's Secret, but it doesn't go for as much. It was a 24/7 classic t-shirt bra. It sold after 13 days on Poshmark for $21. I got this at the bin, so I made $14.80. Next, we have a men's Lululemon commission pant. There was a spot on the front of this one, and so that is a reason that after 7 days, it sold for $22, which is pretty low. You can typically get about 30 for the men's Lululemon commission pants in my experience. So I ended up taking home $15.60. I did try to get the spot out and it didn't come out. And I was like, well, done trying. Next, got a little wild there. Next on the first, this is an Athleta Ultra High Rise Elation 7/8 tight. They call them tights. I also always put in leggings because they are leggings. And so I feel like that's what people would be searching up. This is one of their, actually, I'm wearing a pair of Athleta leggings now, but they're the Stash Salutation. These are a really popular pair of leggings. They were in a navy blue. I do find black the easiest to sell. These sold after 24 days on eBay for, I believe, my 15% off offer selectors because it was for $17.77. I got these at the bins, so I took home $12.34. Next on the first, these are Gap for Men good straight leg blue jeans. I did have these listed for 209 days. When I checked, they had to have close to 100% sell-through rate, otherwise I wouldn't have picked them up. They sold for my full sales price of $12.80, which means that they were relisted once. I jumped from 90 cents to 80 cents every time I lower the price. Don't ask me, I don't have a good strategy for lowering the prices on eBay. Now that I have Nifty, I don't like messing with everything I have on eBay just because of all the custom fields that I use. But there's an option on Nifty that you can, when you relist an item, you can have it reduce the price. So now I have it reduce the price by 5%, which I probably could be a little bit more aggressive with that. But I do know that sometimes things take a while to sell, but they will sell for that amount. If you're interested in trying Nifty, I do have an affiliated code. Just what you get, I believe it's for a week. I should check. I believe it's for a week. You get 15% off your first week if you use the code Krista's Curated Life, and I'll put that in the description. I've absolutely loved switching over it. I think there's a bunch of really great softwares out there, but I've had fantastic luck for that one. So it sold for $20.80. I ended up making $14.80, which, yeah, I mean, it could be worse, but it could be better. I don't want to have items for 209 days. 'tis a long time. This is jean season though. So is what it is. So this next one is a Smart Wool women's merino wool base layer long sleeve. It did have a spot on it. It took 93 days to sell, but I had this marked up pretty high at like 30 something. And I think that's why it didn't sell. It sold for $22 because it was flat. I think it was like just a slight bit of paint or something. So it sold for $22. I made $15.60. 'Tis the season. It's starting to get cold outside. Speaking of getting cold outside, this is a linen piece, so that doesn't make sense at all. This is a Land's End Beard McNutt. I hope I spelled that right. Button-down plaid shirt. I actually found 2 of these, which made it really easy because I just did a multi-quantity listing. After 24 days, it sold for $18. I did take an offer on that one because I had 2 and I hadn't had any interest on 24 days, which I know was only a month. I know. I've sold the second one since then. I made $12.40. I have heard of Beard McNutt. I believe it's a type of fabric or a brand. Anyway, these didn't, they weren't going for a lot. Like $18 is like pretty with the comps actually, which is surprising. Next, I featured this in a like, should I consign this? And I decided not to. Because it was like a 2024 tag for Madewell. So this is a Madewell stripe split net raglan sleeve t-shirt. It wasn't extra small. It wasn't extra large. It sold on Depop after 9 days for $15. Now, it sold after 9 days. It's a basic shirt. The fact that I can sell Madewell for $15 and I got this at the bins, so low cost of goods. I love that Depop has such low fees. I did boost this. I boost everything that's on my Depop, and it sold, well, I profited $11.78. Not complaining. I think it was good for me to test out a Madewell item because, like, I'm terrified of Madewell. There's just some brands that I'm, like, scared to even experiment with. So that was an experiment. Also an experiment, actually, this was featured in the same video as the Madewell striped shirt. That is so funny. This is an AC/DC Who Made Who t-shirt. It was a men's like small medium. I've never sold a band shirt before, and I actually believe that I took this to Turnstile and they didn't want it. So I was like, you know what? I have it. I'm going to list it. On Poshmark, it sold after 12 days for $17, which frankly, I'm okay with because I got it at the bins. I made $11.60. Not bad after 12 days. Next, we have airy, real, sunny, full coverage, lightly lined, strappy bra. I should have put bundle in this one because it doesn't say bundle, but there are 2 of them. So one of them was new with tags and one of them was like brand new. So that's why it says description. These sold for my full asking price of $19.90 on eBay after 50 days. I took home $12.12. I do count my cost of goods at $2 per piece. It's obviously less than that. I'm a broken record. Next one's going to teach you a lesson. Next, we have a Pure Jill kimono, boxy, oversized pocket cotton cashmere sweater 2X, and this sold on Depop. It is true that you can sell other things than Y2K on Depop, and I am a living testament of that. I wasn't cross-listing a lot of things over to Depop. Nifty makes it like stupid easy to cross-list. This sold after, I had this for, I don't know, maybe 3 months. I had it listed for 14 days on Depop. If you have the time, I would cross-list things like everything over to Depop. I wouldn't make it a priority just because it's still like a slow mover for me, but things have been moving that I wouldn't expect to sell on Depop. They sold after 14 days for $19.20. I took home $15.82. Next, praise the Lord that this sold. I'm truly so thankful. This Lululemon Emerald long sleeve gray striped essential shirt that had a stain on it. It wasn't a big stain, but it had a stain on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to list this. This was listed for 381 days. You want to know how much I made? I sold this for $8. That was a waste of space in a bin. Waste of space. I made $3.90. I'm so proud of myself. We're moving on. Next, we have an, oh my gosh, size 1 women's small medium Athena blouse, half sleeve, minimalist. I didn't have leg and look in this one. No wonder it took so long to sell. And I took a lower offer, Krista. This sold for $15 after 58 days. I did take an offer on this and I was like, oh my gosh, I've had this one for that so long. 60 days. I made $10. Could have done better. I actually had gotten a bunch of these. Size 1 isn't a great size. Honestly, I can sell anything by Oh My Gauze, even if it has a stain on it. It's just not going to go by much. Like, expect $10. But anyway, pleased. Could have gotten more. Check your keywords. I was getting a little lazy, I guess. Next, we have a Kendra Scott Anna Heart Stud Earring, Navy Iridescent Silver Rhodium over brass. This was listed on eBay for 128 days. This is my last. I think I had 2 of these. It sold for $22.90. My cost of good was $7. This was like a wholesale thing. I made $11.66. My Kendra Scott is dwindled down pretty low. This next piece. This is a Sundance Allery velvet top blouse, crushed velvet. I put velvet twice. Purple medium embroidered boho. Okay. I had this listed for 15 days. I bought this at a regular Goodwill. When I got home, I realized that someone had like brought in the chest and they'd like really haphazardly sewed it together, but it almost looked like, you know, sometimes when they like fold the fabric over, you can't see this as I do. This was a black shirt and I hit my mic. So it took me a few minutes and I took the stitches out. I need to get a seam ripper from my mom. I feel like my mom sent me one and I gotta find it. But anyway, so I did have to put some work in this and I got this at a regular Goodwill. I wanted to get something when I was there and I knew all resellers had been there because I found a few really good things. And then I was looking at all of them had flaws. And I was like, someone has been here before me. And I was right. So there's a reason they didn't pick this shirt up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised I missed this one. It sold for $30. I took home $15.01. Next is a bundle. I decided to run my sale on Poshmark. I may link the video that I did this in where I showed you guys how to do it. I was actually thinking of making a reel to keep that separate if you guys want something like that to go back to. But they decided to do a bundle, which I was going to do 25% off. And then because it's a closet clear out day, Poshmark does $4.99 shipping. But if you actually do a bundle, you get 30% off from me. So you're actually saving more money doing a bundle. Anyway, so these are 4 items that sold in a bundle. This girl got a deal on this. Okay, so the total bundle altogether is $91. I took home $62.81. And you will quickly learn why some of these were a good deal. This is a Free People Movement jumpsuit. It's Ashford side-to-side performance. It was an extra small. Those are a bolo in the, just any one pieces are a bolo within Free People Movement. That one sold after 34 days. The breakdown of that one was $33.09, which is a good deal. I took home $24.47 in that one. The next one, I've had this longer than this. So I think it was the last time it was relisted. Some of these numbers don't make sense to me. This is an Athleta extra small studio to street print sweatshirt. I put navy, Medusa. I don't know why. I had this one as listed for 28 days. I've had this one for like a year. So I don't know what's up with that. It sold for $11 and I took home $11.03. I took home $6.82. That sucked. Happy to get rid of it. Next was a real Aerie Offline Real Me 7/8 crossover leggings extra small bundle. One was blue, one was green, one was a crossover, one wasn't. That one sold after 17 days for $16.55. I took home $9.25 on that one. Those are like a bread and butter for me. This one she also got a deal on. This is an Anthropologie Daisy midi skirt, pull on floral black, white, small, smocked. This one was listed for 73 days, and I'm surprised it took that long because we missed all of summer. I did find this one at the bins, and I was so excited to find it because this is a beautiful, beautiful anthro piece. This one sold for $30.33. I made $22.26. So that was the first bundle. We have one more order and then we'll get you a bundle. The next order was an Aritzia Babaton long sleeve contour bodysuit, turtleneck, medium, white, nylon, keyword city. Those weren't good keywords either. Bodysuits are going significantly slower for me. This sold after 48 days on Poshmark for $18, which is about what I expect for this. Frankly, Aritzia doesn't sell that well for me. I got this at the bin, so after all was said and done, I made $12.40. Next is a $5 or 5-item Poshmark bundle. I believe I had to pay an extra $12 to ship this one. I thought they like added some money on it. And I knew that, so if your package is over $5 on $5, if your package is over 5 pounds on Poshmark, you have to upgrade your label. And this was like 5 pounds, 9 ounces. It was like $12 to upgrade the level, which I thought was a little crazy. But anyway, I'll go through the list of these things. Some don't have the days listed on them. So we have a woods and gray 100% cashmere V-neck sweater. That one sold after 59 days for $19.19. I took home $13.35. Next is something I also had a question about in one of my videos. Should I consign it or should I sell it? A vintage Woolrich Fair Isle Cabin snow wool blend men's sweater. This one was the heavy one. I knew this would be my problem child. I had it listed pretty low because honestly, vintage Woolrich sweaters like this, it didn't have a good sell-through rate, but I was like, it's really cute. Sold for $16.46. I made $11.17. Here's the other Baird McNutt button-down shirt. It sold after 26 days for $19.19. I made $13.35. Second to last, these vintage men's Levi's white tab corduroy pants in a tan. I had these listed for 85 days. These were not a good pickup. I sold them for $12.34. I took home $7.87. Next, I had a Harrison men's 100% cashmere V-neck pullover sweater in a size large. This person paid $17.80. Oh, it sold for $17.82. I don't know after how many days. I don't think I've had that one horribly long. I made $12.26. All those I got at the bins for a grand total of average, or the sale price is $85. I do need to, which this is funny because of the shipping label. It says I made $58, but actually I made $12 less than that, I believe, which is $46. Not good for 5 items, especially with 2 men's cashmere pieces. However, I was happy to move some things out. I did have kind of a small, like a low selling week. Next, this is an item that I found at Turnstile. And I believe I paid like $12 for these, but I had store credit. These are Gustin jeans. They're men's. The one thing that piqued my interest immediately is the denim quality was amazing. These were raw denim jeans. So I put these are the standard Cone Mills selvage, which is just the type of jean that Gustin makes. These sold after 39 days of being listed on Poshmark for $58. I made $46.40. Yahoo. Next one, it was kind of a fun sale. This is a Harley Davidson shower curtain hook set of 11. One was missing. I actually found these in a random bin. I think someone had thrown them back. And then I was like, I'm going to look things up because frankly, for me, a Harley Davidson has sold pretty well. And sure enough, this sold on eBay after 28 days for my full asking price of $28.90. Also, there were a bunch of chips on these. They weren't in the best condition. I made $14.87, which I'm happy with. This next one was an experiment. This is a Rails button-down front blouse shirt. I saw that the one with the strawberries on it, which this is a strawberry one, was selling decent. And I got an offer for this one on Poshmark. I think I listed for $32. They offered me $25 and I made $18, which I was happy with. That one did take 72 days to sell, which I figured it would take a while. But that's proof that you can still sell Rails. You still can. So check those comps. The last sale is actually probably the most exciting sale of the week. Besides the bundles, I love the big bundles. This is a Frank and Eileen T-Lab Catherine favorite sweatpants in medium blue, wide leg cropped. These sold after 17 days on eBay for my 15% off offers to Lakers of 101.66. I took home 84.66, which is fantastic. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me today. I absolutely adore making these videos and chatting with you guys in the comment. I would love to hear about your best sale for the week, or if you're not a reseller, what your favorite thing is that you thrifted this week. Obviously, if you're watching, you're probably a thrift fiend. So I hope to chat with you guys in the comments. If you like reseller content, specifically my reseller content, I would love if you guys like this video and subscribe. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.